I've not lost my mind. I'm up here for a reason. Yes, it looks a bit weird, but bear with me. There's a point in the video when I explain why I'm on top of this cabinet. Hey up, troops. It's A Littleton here again with another video. And this time we're going to talk about everything to do with positioning and how to get better positioning whilst playing Siege. There's a fine art to positioning, there really is. The better players do it very well and give themselves more of a chance of winning the gunfight by standing in the right place. I say right because technically there's not always a right way to do things, but you get what I mean. Giving themselves more of a chance of winning that gunfight. The more you do the things I'm going to explain in this video, the more you'll give you a chance to win that gunfight as well. Right, I think that'll do. I need to get down off of here now. Let's get into the video. I think that's probably enough waffling. Let's get stuck into it. Okay, positioning. We're playing smoke. We've got Ash outside the breach, and we're going to talk all about positioning. The first thing we're going to talk about when it comes to positioning, this sounds ridiculous, but it's your position. Now, we're going to go into a lot more detail about this, but the first thing you've got to think about is your general position on the map. So where are you? If we're on the clubhouse site here, we're defending CCTV cache. I've set the site up how it would normally be set up with rotates in places and lines of sights in places, and we've done it in garage as well. Now, your first thing to think about is your position. And depending on what role you play in, this differs for each role. If you're roaming, you're not going to have to think about what I'm telling you about here too much because you're going to be on other areas of the map. But from your position, where can you help your team? Think about that straight away. So where I'm playing now, where can I help the team or where can I potentially get shot from? Two things you got to think about. One, where can I help the team? I can help the team onto the breach. I'm playing smoke, and if you had a C4, you could also go over the top here, so you can help the team if anyone comes through garage. I can help the team on CC window by also using this C4/smoke line of sight here to go onto CC window. I can help the team by holding construction. I can help the team by looking at top red, and I can help the team by looking at the breach. So think about your position, where you are, and where you can help your team from. By the way, this middle wall is normally reinforced. Comes out to the edge here. If you're playing in this area here, make a foothole here. I can guarantee you get several free kills. Maybe make it slightly further over, because what you don't want to do is expose yourself to this door. We've gone off on a tangent quickly here, but it's what I do, so bear with me. Hold this angle here if anyone coming up top red if you've got a shotgun, because anyone who comes up here never looks. Well, as soon as they come up, they go here and then they look here. They never ever look here because that angle is hidden as they come up from this. So just a little completely different side note there from what we were just talking about. Let me just see if I can pick that smoke up, or it might be too high. It is too high. Right, so your position of where can you help your team from? So from here, this is an absolute power point here when you're defending this site, because you can help pretty much everywhere. Onto garage, breach, construction, CC window, top red, which we just discussed. You can even come through the rotate and help on the breach, or you can jump up on this too and help on the breach out there as well. So where can you help your team from? The other thing to think about is where are you in danger from? And this is going to help with your positioning as well. So say, for example, you're playing in this room. You would never stand here. You would never stand here because you're going to get domed from this door. Always assume that someone's going to appear in the place you least expect them to. So if you're like a minute into the round, 2 minutes into the round, this is a busy door, right? So you wouldn't just stand here and just be like, oh, I'll just wait for someone maybe to come up red. We'll just wait here. This is a good example, actually, the holes I just made. You wouldn't be in the holes and wait there because you're going to get smoked from this door. You'd be behind the cover here looking at this door. So think about where could you get shot from. Again, you wouldn't be standing here because you're going to get wallbang from CC window or wallbang from the breach on this soft wall. You can see where the danger of the breach is. So just look at the edge of the hard wall here. Now we're safe from the breach. Use this wall here. Now we're safe from the window. Crouch behind the desk here. Now we're safe from everywhere. So you haven't really got to worry about too many places when you're in this area. Obviously, you might get grenaded from below. But they're two important things straight away. Where can you help your team? Like, where can you move to in terms of positioning to benefit your team and to help your team and support your team? And also, where are you in danger from? And try and take as much cover as you can and don't just stand there. Like, if, say, for example, you were holding CC window, this is a terrible angle. Because one, you're in danger from the breach if the breach was a bit wider, and two, you're in danger from the door. Now, what you then have to do when it comes to positioning is look where your teammates are. If you can see that you have a teammate in construction, and I don't know, the teammate's holding this naughty little angle that exists, or your teammate's here, but you can see you've got a teammate in construction. And now again, this helps if you've got a team and you're not solo queuing and hoping and relying on people. But if you can see there's a teammate in construction, you can ignore construction for now, right? You can put construction to one side because you know you're going to hear if this guy dies before you need to react to this door, right? And this all sounds super basic, but you wouldn't believe the amount of people that stand here like this holding this angle. and then all of a sudden die from Condor and go, oh, why has no one said he's there? Has no one got a cam in there? Do we not know that? So just have a look where your teammates are as well and base your positioning around that. When it comes to positioning, tip number 2, it's change the height that you stood at, crouched at, prone at, whatever it might be. Change your height from just head height. If we're going to peek this door, there's an ash around this corner here like this, right? Good players will have crosshair placement down. They know on the door that someone's head is about here. They know as they come around and sweep around the room, someone's head is bang on right there. You just know that from playing the game, right? Over time, you learn where heads are. If I'm going to ADS into bathroom, we know the head height is going to be about here. Again, head height about there. In lower ranks, you get a lot of people who tend to sort of walk around aiming crouch height for some reason. I don't know if it's because more people crouch in lower ranks. Therefore, if they... I just jump onto the PC a second. Bear with me. If I was going to peek this, I would be holding here, so I would be too high. Then a lot of players in lower ranks seem to walk around like this. Maybe it's because more people crouch, I don't know. But you want to try and change your head height as best you can. Now, what I'm going to say for this is if you were going to peek construction from here, and I was going to hold an aggressive angle onto construction, I would never hold this angle. Especially when there's something in front of you, like this bed that you can get on top of, like this. Now your head is in a completely different angle to what Ash was expecting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab Ash quickly and go and do the same thing and put her on the bed. And then we're going to swap roles, and I'm going to now peek this. How well does that skin blend in with that wall, by the way? That's absolutely outrageous. So now, we're coming around this door. We're looking for anyone that's going to be here. There's a bit too much of an aggressive angle from Ash. Just turn around from the bed a little bit. So now we're looking for anyone around this area. We can't find anyone. We keep sweeping around, and before you know it, you're here. But you're only at crotch height or knee height, whereas the Ash is obviously much higher up. I don't know why. It's difficult, more difficult for people with a mouse to flick up. Up is not a movement that most people do on a mouse, right? Controlling recoil comes down, we go left and right. Flicking up is not something that people are particularly good at, but it's not something you're expecting. By the time you get here and realise Ash's head's here, you're already dead, because Ash is going to be holding head height on the door frame here. So you've got to change. I mean, you could do the same the other way around with this. You try and change your angle of your head as much as you can in terms of the height. So again, if you're peeking onto the breach, you wouldn't peek at this height here. You want to get up here and be higher up. Move your head off head height. Now, some people say you go prone when you're holding angles because that's going to benefit you a bit more. Like, for example, if you were here. This is also true, but you're also a lot more vulnerable when you're prone. It takes so long to get up and move. It doesn't seem long when we're doing it now. But in terms of someone going like that and putting 10 bullets in you, the time it takes to go like this, you're already dead. So yes, going prone is also a benefit because it means your head's lower. But if you can, I always say try and get up on things. Obviously, don't expose yourself too much. But if you can vault on things, and there's loads of things around the map that you can vault on. Just as an example, like if you were going to be peeking the bar into billiards, this isn't a good example because this isn't a common angle that you'd peek. But if you were waiting for someone to peek billiards, rather than standing here or behind the bar here, I would 100% be changing my head height and holding an angle higher up. No one's gonna shoot the in jukebox. No one's gonna expect you being at that height. So if you can, again, downstairs, let's go downstairs. This is another good example. There's a million things that you can vault on down here. In church, you can get on the table, change the eye. If someone's coming through blue rotate and you're defending downstairs, someone's about to peek the side here. Don't stand here to peek this angle because they're going to see your feet a bit more. But if you're on and off angle here and you're waiting for someone to come around the side of the air conditioning machine, this is perfect. And again, a million things that you can stand on in here. If you're holding blue door, don't just hold blue door like this or like this. Get the angle changed. Even if you were to vault on this and crouch, obviously you don't want to be standing right in the middle of the room like this. You'd be better off hiding behind an object. You know what I mean? But if you can get up, crouch, and hold that angle, no one's expecting your head there. Try and use the environment to adjust your head height. We're back over to CCTV cache now, and this is all about angles, although it's still positioning. It's the same type of thing, really. But we're going to use this wall here as an example. If we know that we're in a 1v1 and this Ash has to come through the breach, there's 10 seconds left, for example, whatever it might be, and this works for any site on any angle, right? You would never, in my opinion, this is a bad idea. Okay? It's You're susceptible to pre-fire. You're susceptible to Ash having better reactions than you've got, which most Ash players have, to be fair to them. You're susceptible to being seen by a drone that's in garage maybe, or wherever that drone may be, but you're susceptible to dying by holding this kind of angle. Now, if you were to hold this angle, and in terms of positioning, just take more of an off angle. I know this isn't a great example because we're stood on the drone all, but you know what I mean. Take more of an off angle here, and the reason you would do this is because, let's just swap roles again. If we move Siege, if we move Ash to holding the aggressive angle here, yeah? So we're outside the breach, it's a 1v1. We're panicking, we don't know how we're going to get in. We know that they might be top red, so as we come in, we sort of hold, oh, okay, there they are. And you've got a chance of getting that kill. Now, if we move Ash to the passive angle that we talked about. So Ash is now on that passive angle. And as you come in, you check this angle. You can even check round to here. Round to top red. We still can't see Ash, right? There's Ash. Ash can see us here, though. By far. Like, quite easily. So, you know, you come in, you check. Well, they're not garage. They're not cash. They're not there. Are they top red? No? Okay, we're up. And at this point, now I'm dead. So again, we'll sort of roll back, swap the roles again, and I'll just walk in with Ash. Now, you don't want to be holding an angle where you don't get much of a chance of killing them. You know, this, looking at the area that you're going to be able to shoot between the server rack and this door, that's plenty of space there. So if we hold this angle, as the Ash comes in, you know, she's going around the room looking where we might be. Now Luke's top red, can't see us. I'm looking at the Ash perspective, the Ash POV, can't see us. Walks forward. Gives up on that angle, and you've got a freebie. So try and hold a bit more of an off angle. So if you just find another door quickly, and we use, I don't know, construction, for example. You're not always going to have an angle where people walk past you. Let me just bring the Ash over. Talk amongst yourselves whilst I do this. If I was any good at YouTube and any good at making videos, I'd edit this bit out, but I'm not, so apologies. So again, with Ash, as Ash gets aggressive on the room, you don't want to be holding just like this door like this. You can be holding the door like this. You know, just a bit more of a passive angle rather than being so aggressive. And again, as the Ash comes, if we swap roles, I'll stand here with the Ash. And then we'll be the person coming through the door. You know, you're looking around the room, you get to the door, you think, right, okay, well, no one's there, no one's here. Right, okay, let's come through. And they're there rather than being where you think they're going to be. So just hold. I hope I've got that across. I'm not always very good at explaining what, like, I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm not always the best at explaining it. But hopefully the example over by the breach has explained what I meant. Okay, so another thing when it comes to positioning, this also could be put into like an angles video, and the how to peek video that I did also included this information, but I'm going to say it here as well because it's relevant. Use the sound as to when to swing. So if you, say for example, this is a really good part of the map where people hold this angle here onto main stairs. And what you'll find is any good player will come down here and already know that you need to worry about moto. And when they get here, they just pre-fire that angle. So you know that you're gonna get into a fight if you're there. Using utility to know when to swing and to know when to peek is Legion's a great example, right? So we know now that we've got a goo mine here. We do not need to peek until we hear one of two things. Either gunshots where you hear, and this is a particular sound, you'll hear it, but listen to the gunshot, but you'll also hear, you can hear utility getting destroyed in Siege. Let me try again. You don't just hear the gunshot, you hear, even if we stand back here, you'll hear it. You still hear the utility getting destroyed. Yes, if there's a lot of other sounds, then, you know, you need to listen for it, but just try and be a little bit intelligent when it comes to the sounds that you hear. If you hear an Ash that's on main stairs, right, and you know there's a goo mine outside, if you hear someone go, you know that's an R4C, or you know that's an attacker assault rifle, and you know they've just shot it once, chances are that could be your goo mine that they've shot. So you've got to be thinking, processing information all the time, like, was that the goo mine? Can I rely on the goo mine anymore? If you've still got the cam, obviously check the cam, but I mean, you'd have to be brave to peek if the goo mine's still there or not. I'd probably just throw another one down the corridor so it bounces off the wall just to be safe, but you'd have to be brave to peek that. Anyway, my point is, now you know you've got a goo mine there, or let's say there's a Malusi Banshee or an Ella mine above the door, or any other thorn razor bloom, or any other trap that could be on that door that you can rely on for sound to know when to peek. So you don't want to be just doing this, especially when you've got that there. You want to be just sort of holding this angle, again, that off angle, waiting for the sound of someone coming out of main. Oh, that means someone's come out of main, and you know where your goo mine is, you know where the sound's going to be. You can just pre-fire it straight away, and you just know exactly when to swing and where to position yourself so you get the kill. So there we have it. There's my thoughts on positioning. Put yourself in a place where you can win more gunfights. Move your head up and down, ideally higher up usually, and swing off sound and also hold more passive angles. That's my thoughts on how to win more gunfights and how to get a better positioning. Hopefully you've taken something from it. For those of you that got this far in the video, I really appreciate you getting involved. I really, really do. Thank you for watching the videos. I can't get into words how much I appreciate the support of an old bald man playing Siege and people for some reason caring about what he says. So thank you very much for watching. Other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!